Hello and welcome to the video. This is part 3 of the Unimog build. So we're going to jump to the farm shortly, but we'll come back here because there's an engine just over there that I want to talk about, and the cab is over there. So without further ado, let's get into the sandblasting and the cab being cut out ready for sandblasting. Here we go. Welcome to the video. Here you can see we're into cutting the cab out, ready for it to be sandblasted tomorrow. So Simon's coming tomorrow to do some sandblasting. So I've cut majority of the rot out where it's really bad. So it's back down to the steel frame, so we can go around with the sandblaster, clean all that out, and then I can remake all the bottom of the cab and weld it some nice clean metal. So it looks worse now than it did when I started, but I think it can only get better from here on, I hope. Right, let's get on with it. One thing I did find quite interesting, when I've cut this rail off the actual Unimog, you can see it was never ever painted underneath from the factory, so it's still in bare metal from how it came out the factory. So it's a wonder it's lasted this long. Good morning. Very loud here today. We've got Simon here doing the sandblasting, so he's over there. Should be able to see him in the distance. I'm going to set the camera up so that we can see what he actually does. I forgot to do the before shot purely because we just got on this morning. So I'll put this over here to see what you can see. Okay, you can see the chassis is a bit cleaner than what it was. Simon's spent a few hours on this now, so it's all gone back to bare metal. So I'm going to go around with a spray gun while it's upside down and just spray the bits that are awkward to get to. Then we're going to flip it back over, put it over there, and I'm going to put the rest of the top coat on. And then once it's dry, hopefully that'll be today, I've got some chassis black so I can get that on as well. So let's get on with it. So here's the chassis from yesterday. So as you can see, it was all nicely blasted yesterday, and I managed to get a coat of red oxide on it, and thankfully it was nice and sunny yesterday, which I can't quite believe for October. So I managed to get a top coat of black on it as well, but as everywhere is very dusty after the sandblasting, everything is covered in a layer of dust. But it has dried nicely, so that's nice and protected now, and that's the job out of the way. So this is pretty much finished paint, I'd have said now. I know there's some runs in it, but I'm not really that bothered. I'd rather it just have a decent coat of paint so it will last a good amount of time. So now I'm in the process of trying to put everything on the trailer so I can put it away, so I can now get the body away and do the panel work on that. So I've also invested in a 55mm socket 3/4 drive to take the centres out of the axles over there, so that's when I come to rebuild those, I've got the tools to do that. So now I'm just going to go and do Tetris with the forklift and load it all up on the trailer. Hopefully it'll go well. Well, that was pretty tiring. That took longer than I thought, but these things always do. So there we have a fully loaded trailer. So you can tell I'm good at Tetris, can't you? So pretty much the entire Unimog is on the back of that trailer. And some extra wheels. So I'm going to put that back in the shed now, because that can sit in there for the next month or so before I need anything off there. And then the next bit to do is we're going to pick this cab up tomorrow. So this cab's all been blasted and it's all ready to come apart. So as you can see, it's quite bad down here, but all that's going to be cut off because it was easier than trying to deal with it. There's all inside the footwells are pretty good. I think over that side, if I walk around. So you can see I've got a repair panel to do over there, and then we've got to do something over here. But I think I might cut the back floor pans and drop them and make it have a lot more room in the back of the cab. But all in all, the cab's pretty good. There's the odd dent here and there, but I will be sorting those out. But the main issue is something's hit it pretty hard there and bent the front frame, so it does dip in. So that's got to be pulled out and straightened up. But we'll be back here in the morning with the van to pick it up, take it back to the workshop and get it sorted. On to the next bit. Right, welcome back. So as you can see, that was 2 or 3 days of hard work to get everything stripped down ready for the sandblaster, get it all sandblasted and get it all painted and get it put away. So we're now back here in the workshop with the cab so we can get that worked on. I'll run through that shortly, and also I'm going to just jump over now and talk about the engine we're going to use for this project and see what you think of that. Right, so moving on to the engine. So here it is. This is a OM605 with a nice large turbo on here. This is Holset HX35, I think it is. Don't hold me to that because I'm still learning a lot about these engines. I'm not an expert by any means, but we've got exactly what I wanted on this. This is a diesel pump UK injector pump, so it's done away with all the electronics and it is a completely mechanical fuel pump. It isn't piped up at the moment, right? It is just, everything is blanked off, as you can see, with bungs everywhere. It is a running engine. I do have the starter motor around the other side. Currently got a bell housing off an automatic gearbox, just so I've got some sort of idea of how to stud patterns and things like that. There is the original Unimog clutch there, and underneath it is the Sprinter clutch that came on the engine. So that's the next job that I'm working on, is trying to understand flywheels and adapter plates. But it's also got the Kangaroo Performance exhaust manifold on, which is quite nice. And then somebody's altered this top cover, but I might alter it too because I'm not overly happy with it. And that's fuel filter, which will go there, which, yeah, that's kind of one of the problems. But we'll sort that out shortly. But there we go. Just so everybody can see, this is the engine that is going in the Unimog 5-cylinder turbo diesel. I'm told it's about 325 brake horsepower, so a lot more than I wanted, but I'll take it, to be honest. I have done an adapter here for because the power steering pump has been took off, and so I've just put this idler pulley on there. I've got to sort this bit of a dent out on the pulley there and get the correct length belt. At the moment I've just done it so I can get a rough idea of what the belt length I want. So I'll measure that and then just go and order one. Open the door so you can see it. So I've took some of the steel work off from around here and cut the back corner out and just done some measurements. I've also took this front piece off that I said in the last video that there was a problem with it. Don't know quite how I'm going to show this, but it's not very straight, or it's got a great big dip in the middle of it here, so it's had a good hit at some point. So I'm just going to try and work out how to cut this and straighten it, but I'll use the other size of the pattern to get the radius nice, and then I'll weld it back in. I'll grab the camera off and just look at the dashboard and just show you some other bits and pieces I've been up to. So there's the dashboard. I've gone through all these switches and basically oiled them just to check if they're working, clean them and put the tester across them just to test that they're all making contact and I've got everything working properly. Same with the light bulbs, same with the wiper motors. This is the, what is that? That's the indicator switch. So I've worked that out, worked what I need on that. I've also been having a look at this switch, which is quite interesting because it's got sort of 1 and 2 to the one side, and then you can see it's got 0, S1, S2 and S3. Now to operate that, you push the centre down and slide that piece across there, and then that gives you another 4 other lighting options. And as you can see, there is a lot of wiring on the back that I'm still trying to decipher out the manual which ones link up with which, and once I've worked that out, then I'll have a bit of an idea of how to do the wiring diagram on this truck. There's the original ignition switch with a full tractor key in it. So I am going to change this because I don't really like the idea of just being able to start it with a sort of a standard Lucas key. That's not really what I want. So I've got the headlight here. I've took the bulbs out just to see what they are, because everything on this truck is 24 volt and I can't run 24 volt, or I don't want to run 24 volt. So the lights are 24 and these, so I've got the bulbs out now so I can cross-reference them and get some different bulbs. So I hope you enjoyed all that, watching where I've got to from the sandblasting to painting the chassis. So we're in a good place now to start putting it back together. You've had a look at the engine. You can see the cabs here. I've actually brought the screen back now so we can start working a few more bits and pieces out. This will probably be the next video, working on the cab, making all the panels for it. So there is a Austin in the workshop, so we are going to be doing some bits on some Austins at the moment, so I am filming a part for that. So don't think I've give up on the Austins, there will be more on those. But don't forget to like and subscribe, and also keep an eye out for what I get up to with Tom. Match out Tom on his channel. But yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.